Hey there, and welcome. You ever stop and think about all the invisible connections that make our world go round? Well, there's this really powerful idea called an agency relationship, and trust me, it's working all around us. When we buy a house, manage our finances, even just at our day jobs. So let's dig in and find the agents working in your life.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. Who actually has the power to act on your behalf? Just think about that for a second. Is there anyone you've given permission to make decisions for you? You know, the answer might actually surprise you.
Okay, so what are we really talking about here? It all comes down to this: the agency relationship. It's simply when one person, we call them the agent, is authorized to act for someone else, the principal. You're the principal, they're your agent. It's that simple, really. And that basic setup is the key to, well, everything else we're about to cover.
All right, first up, let's talk about the big stuff. These are the agents we call in for life's biggest, and let's be honest, most stressful transactions.
So what are we looking at? Well, our source material highlights a few key players. Real estate agents, of course, auctioneers, and then for folks in the agricultural world, stock and station agents. I bet you've dealt with at least one of these.
And here's the key thing. Their whole job is to represent your interests. When you hire a real estate agent, you're giving them the authority to negotiate for you, to act in your place to get the best deal possible. You're basically handing them the keys to a huge asset and trusting them to get it right.
Okay, so let's switch gears a bit and see how this whole idea applies to the world of personal finance. We're talking about the agents who help navigate your money.
So, who are we talking about here? Well, you've got your stockbrokers buying and selling shares for you, tax agents who deal with the government on your behalf, and then two kinds of insurance pros, agents and brokers. Think about it, in every single one of these cases, you're giving them some serious authority. A stockbroker can move thousands of your dollars in an instant. A tax agent is legally speaking for you to the tax authorities. It's a relationship that is absolutely built on professional trust. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because there's a subtle but super important difference here. See, an insurance agent, they're usually an agent for the insurance company. But an insurance broker, they're an agent for you. You're the principal, and they work on your behalf to shop around. It sounds like a tiny difference, right? But believe me, it has a huge impact.
All right, we've hit the big deals, we've hit the financial world, but what about the agency relationships that are so common, so everyday, that we barely even notice them? Let's get to the most widespread example of them all.
It's the one that millions and millions of us are a part of every single day, probably with ever thinking about it in these terms.
In fact, if you have a job, odds are this relationship definitely involves you right now.
And boom, there it is. The source absolutely nails it with this one. The ultimate everyday agent is an employee. When you're at work, you are legally acting as an agent for your employer, who is the principal. Yeah, that's right. Your actions can legally and financially bind the company you work for.
And this doesn't stop there. Our source also points to a couple of other great everyday examples: partners in a business and travel agents who book flights and hotels for us.
You know, this partnership one is a really big deal. In a business partnership, every single partner has the authority to act as an agent for the entire firm. Just think, one partner signs a piece of paper and suddenly the whole business is on the hook. That's agency in action.
So, we've got people selling houses, people managing money, people just doing their jobs. What on earth do all of these roles have in common? What's the thread that ties them all together? I mean, check this out. Just from one list, we've walked through 10 distinct roles, 10 different examples of this single powerful idea shaping our world.
And the thing that ties them all together? It's actually pretty simple. Every single one of these relationships is built on a foundation of just two things: authorization from a principal and the trust they place in an agent to act on their behalf.
So it doesn't matter if it's an employee ordering pens for the office or a stockbroker making a multi-million-dollar trade. The structure is exactly the same. One person is empowered to act, and those actions have real, tangible consequences for the person or company they represent. It's literally one of the bedrock principles that makes our whole economy work.
So I'll leave you with a final thought. Now that you can see this pattern, this relationship of authorization and trust, where else do you spot it? Where else are these agency relationships hiding in plain sight? Because I promise you, once you start looking for it, you'll start seeing it absolutely everywhere.